In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. And now let's look at the sample research proposal with comments, you know, prepared by a university. And we will look at this sample research proposal and also look at the comments of for different sections. Uh, A research proposal or thesis will take at least 2 semesters to complete. This is normal in all universities throughout the whole world. Normally, it takes at least 2 semesters to complete. Prior to starting a research, that is enrolling in the first semester research course, students must go through the proposal stage, during which students will develop their proposal and have it reviewed by his or her research advisor, or sometimes we call it, in some other countries or universities, we call it supervisor, advisor, and or supervisory committee. This means that students need months of planning and background research work before the start of the first semester research. You know, uh, it doesn't matter whether you start your proposal in the first semester or third or second or third one, but the point is that you have to spend months of planning and researching or reading different papers and gathering enough information and literature on the area you're going to work on. So uh, it needs months of planning and background research work. Background research work means that you have to read different articles related to your topic before the start of the first semester research. Students are not allowed to enroll in a research course without an approved proposal. This is normal. You have to give your proposals, to be approved, and then you can go through your actual thesis. During the proposal stage, students should discuss their research interests with the faculty members, identify a research topic, conduct preliminary literature review, and develop a project proposal. Okay, so while you start working on your proposal, you have to discuss the research interest with the faculty members, or we can call the supervisor that you have selected, or the advisors, or even you can talk to the other faculty members of your university. And in order to identify a research topic, of course, as I've already said, it is not just enough to talk to the other people. You have to study and gather enough background information. That's why here in this line it has said that it needs months of planning and background research work. This background research work means reading papers related to your area, and then conduct preliminary literature review and develop a project proposal. The proposal should discuss problem statement, objectives, research methodology, uh, research activities, and time schedule in about 3 to 5 pages. And this is also different because normally the proposals, of course, he's talking about the first draft of proposal, but a complete proposal should be around 10 to 12 or 15 pages. Around 10 pages would be okay, quantitatively. A sample proposal is attached here for your reference. So now let's look at this sample and see what has happened here. Yes, this is a sample proposal text. The topic is this. As you can see, the title is this: a conceptual framework for scheduling constraint management. Of course, this title is in the field of management. A conceptual framework for scheduling constraint management. All right, let's look at the comment. Provide a brief and meaningful title to your project. So not only the title should be, you know, uh, informative enough and include all the necessary variables or the main variables you're going to work on, but it should be as brief and concise as possible. All right. Uh, in the other section, which is introduction, or the first section after the title, as you can see, it's talking about, you know, some general issues relating to that constraint management he has selected. Every construction project is unique and has its own operating environment and set of technical requirements. As a result, the execution of a construction project is. So you can see that there are some general definitions or starting a background information about that topic. And also by definition, you see, also some definitions, some main definitions would be given about the main variables. Constraint refers to, right? And also master schedule, because one of the other important elements in this topic was scheduling, right? Or scheduling for constraint management. Therefore, after talking about constraint and constraint management, he started to talk about what? Scheduling. And you can see here that it is very necessary to talk about the background information relating to important scholars or famous scholars who have been working on this area, so given the appropriate references. Let's look at the comment. Background or introduction section provides a description of the basic facts and importance of the research area, which is your research, what is your research area, the motivation of research, and how important it is for the industry, practice, knowledge, and advancement. So in the introduction, you have to talk about the background, or you give an introduction about what? For a description of basic facts. You describe the basic, or as I told you, main issues or main variables, basic facts and importance of research area. Why this research area, this title is constraint management, okay? He has to justify the readers, justify why he has selected this area and he wanted to work on this. What is your research area? The motivation of the research. What has motivated the researcher to work on, and how important? So talking about the importance of this research is another issue. Normally, we talk about the importance of the issue in another separate section, which is called significance of the study. But if there is no significance of the study in your proposal, you can include the significance or insert your significance of the study inside your introduction. Okay, so that is about background, motivation, and significance. In the second section, which is very important, you have to talk about the problem statement, or a statement of the problem, as we can call it. Since this title is about constraint management, let's look at the problem statement. The importance of developing a constraint-free and reliable work plan has long been recognized by the industry. However, numerous construction projects are still plagued by delays and cost overruns, which can frequently be traced to ineffective identification and treatment of constraint. The treatment and identification of constraint or management constraint has been ineffective, or has been traced to ineffective. So it needs to work more on this area, all right? Or we can say that there is lack of research, practical, researches on this area. So this is the problem that I found on this topic. Therefore, I presented here in statement of the problem. As you can see in the comment, problem statement provides a clear and concise description of the issues that need to be addressed. Why this study should be done? Why have you selected this problem as your main research issue, right? So, and what is the specific problem in that research area that you will address? The specific problem: lack of understanding of a subject, low performance, or scarcity of research, as I told you. So you have to say, you have to bring these reasons, in the statement of the problem. You have to show that, for example, there is lack of understanding on this subject, or lack of understanding, um, uh, or lack of practical aspects on this topic, for example, in the field. So the other researchers are needed to work more on this topic in order to solve the other problems. And also low performance, as I told you, the practical aspects, or you can generally say that there is lack of research in this area. All right. The research questions, have been included here in this under the title of problem statement, but normally in our proposals we ask you or students to have a separate subtitle for research questions. These are the research questions, and these are the objectives. Or let's say after the objectives we say the purpose. What is the purpose of the study? So the long-term goal of the research is to develop a formalized constraint management system. Constraint management is defined herein as the process of identifying and the like. So here particularly the study has the following sub-objectives: to provide a comprehensive review of sources and characteristics of constraints, typically found in the constraint projects; to develop a constraint classification method; to review current industry practices and researches; to outline a conceptual framework, because this is one of the important purposes stated even in the title. So, objectives provide a list of goals that will be achieved through proposed research. A list of goals or purposes. Why are you going to work on this topic, right? What is your purpose? Why have you selected this? To provide a comprehensive review, to develop a constraint classification, to review current projects, to outline a conceptual framework. These are the objectives or goals this study is going to be done for. And what are the benefits or impacts? Better understanding, improved productivity that will be generated if the research problem is solved. This issue, the benefits also would be stated in the objective section. And then we get to preliminary literature review, or as we call it, literature review section, or review of the related literature. And you know that in the literature review you have to talk about the main concepts, the theoretical aspects of those variables, and also some definitions and many other related topics, including, especially, which is very important, including the related studies should be inserted in literature review. Related studies, the previous practical researches which have been done in that field, should be presented in literature review. As you can see, preliminary literature review provide, he says preliminary because this is a draft which is going to be given to the faculty member, but we do not call it preliminary, we call it literature review. You have to do a literature review on that, and that literature review should be of course related to what you're going to work on. Provide a summary of previous related research on the research problem and their strengths and weaknesses. The other researches have been done in this field and you present them, but you should mention the strengths and weaknesses of those of course better to say studies. You have to mention the strengths and weaknesses of those studies, related studies done in the field. And after that we get to the last section, of course, the section before the last one, which is called methodology. And this is the last chapter of your proposal, basically, because we said that the first chapter is introduction, the second one literature